what during the pandemic have you just flipped on and then, oh my God, it's something that you were in, you hadn't seen in a while, that you caught up and just didn't expect to see on your screen if you were flipping around at any point in time?
Well, I kind of, I do flip around, but mostly I dictate to myself what I'm gonna, where I'm going with my watching, my binging. And
Okay.
I've watched The Sopranos 3 times over the years. I've watched The Wire now a couple. This is my second go around with The Wire. I like I love all those kinds of, I've been watching a lot of stuff on Hulu because of FX, all their
Oh,
kind
sure.
of stuff.
For
They're
Sunny.
now on, yeah, for Sunny. So, but once in a while, you catch a taxi and you go, oh my goodness, you, let's look at this for a little bit and see what you were doing. Like, how many years ago? 1978. Don't even, like, it's like, so long ago. But it's kind of cool. I think that's the one thing about, I've caught up a lot on some movies. I watched the Criterion Collection,
Huh.
and I do a lot of like hunting around. I once in a while bump into Twins because it's on
Yeah.
all the time.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. So let me hit on a couple of those with you if you don't mind. Taxi, when you first received the script, you thought what when you
I,
first
I, well, it was a great, great part. And originally, I don't. People don't know it was written originally for a voice only. It wasn't going to be Louis wasn't going to be on camera, and then they decided that they do it. And when I came into their lives, I loved it so much when I read it. I just thought, this is a part that I have to play. I was not a kind of a snob about television, even though in the '70s a lot of people were saying, don't do television. It's like, I just thought, it's a part. I'm an actor, and it was a great part, and so I went, and it was the luckiest thing. Really, it was that's the thing that happens in your career if it happens, because every actor's out there struggling, looking for work, and you could do a lot of work and not have that one part click for you, and that happens to it's like a kismet kind of, like this perfect um, spot to be in when lightning strikes, and that was Taxi. That really was the best. Brought me out from into the people's homes every
Sure.
night.
What a
That
great character. I mean, that you could absolutely chew up and spit
was
out and have a good
yeah,
time with. And
it was
were
very
you
well written. Jim Brooks and Ed Weinberger, Stan Daniels, Dave, all that team, Dave Davis, those guys were from MTM, Mary Tyler Moore. A
oh,
lot of people
sure.
remember that.
Oh,
They did
good.
a lot of shows over there, and they were just top-notch writers. Never let you down.
And originally, so again, I guess to use a Mary Tyler Moore production phrase, I guess Carlton, your doorman, one of the more famous
Yeah,
voices in the
that was
history
a
of that
voice.
was essentially what
Yeah,
your character
that's
was going
where
to
they were
be.
going in the very beginning, and then they switched up and said, this guy in this really crazy pit bull kind of in a cage.
Right.
And so there I was. It was like one of those moments that in you come along, or once, if you're lucky, once in a lifetime. That was a great time.
Were you channeling anyone in particular?
I was doing everybody, man. I was like, trying to be, I don't know, Gleason, Peter Falk, uh, everybody, anybody I could think of who had color in their bones, and um, I did meet a couple people in New York I met the one guy who was based, like, there was an article that was in one of the magazines. That's where they found this story about all the cab drivers who did something else,
Right.
except for one guy who was a cab driver. That was the Judd character. Everybody else, like Tony, wanted to be a boxer. Mary Lou was into art. Bobby Wheeler wanted to be an actor. Right down the line. And and but I did get to meet this one guy in a who was a dispatcher, who was really a pistol. This guy on 57th Street in Manhattan, and so I got to hang out in the garage a little bit with them, so a lot of things, the way actors collect things and they rub off on you and you
Well, I
steal
want to
the best.